kept me waiting and waiting until finally I remember the clock striking 12. I'd been there for... Telephone. The doctor, the first doctor, told me he had no telephone. That was why I had to take a note, because he couldn't communicate with his wife. And then when I was leaving, the telephone rang. The doctor's wife was at the door with me, and it rang and rang. She shut the door as quickly as she could, but I could still hear it.
That's all very interesting, but you see, you were the only person who heard it. I don't see how we can use it.
Oh. I know. Why didn't I think of it before? I know exactly how that room, number 342, looks. I've never been to Paris before. I couldn't possibly know what it looks like, could I? If I'd never seen it, if Monsieur Duchesne had been in it for several days.
That's quite true. Tell me exactly how that room was.
It had green damask drapes, rose pattern wallpaper, an ormolu clock, a sofa in gray, a gray rug, a little oval satinwood table, and a big four-poster bed. I think that's all I can remember. Oh, yes, a lamp.
Come along. Let's have a look at that room.
They won't let us see it. They wouldn't let me in last night.
They will today.
Voici, mademoiselle.
Clock and everything's all different.
The best thing for you to do is to get to London where you can rest and leave us to make inquiries into the disappearance of your mother. It's no good staying here and torturing yourself.
Very well.
The embassy will make all the arrangements, and I'll get you tickets for tomorrow's boat. And we'll take your room in some quiet hotel for tonight. I'm sure you don't want to stay here.
Never want to see the place again.
Just a minute, I'll ask the clerk. The clerk says the Marie Antoinette's a nice quiet hotel. I've taken a room for you there.
Painting the hotel.
Oh, yes, sprucing it up for the exposition, very likely.
Change my mind. I want to stay here.
Oh, no, surely not. You'd much better...
I'm sorry, but I do.
Now, wait.
I've changed my mind. I'd like to stay here tonight.
Here, mademoiselle?
Yes, here.
But I... Certainement, if you think that I can...
Miss Winthrop, please.
Is there any reason why I can't stay here?
Oh, no. None at all.
I want room 342.
Oh, no, it's reserved. It's taken. However, I have one equally pleasant for mademoiselle.
Is it as large?
Oh, yes, larger, perhaps.
In that case, you can give it to whoever has reserved room 342.
Oh, no. Impossible.
Sure, they didn't write and ask to reserve room 342. They merely asked for a large room. In that case, I can't see why I can't have room 342.
Is there any reason why she shouldn't have it?
Why, it's irregular. Most irregular. The rooms have been assigned.
I won't keep thinking it's the same room if I'm in it and can see that it isn't.
We don't insist, of course, but Miss Winthrop has had a frightful experience, and if it would comfort her to stay in the same room, I cannot see why you should object.
Monsieur, it is a matter of indifference to me, I assure you. However, it is quite expensive.
Oh, is it very expensive? Well, perhaps I'd better not. Could I just look at it? Maybe I'm being foolish, but I must be sure.
Very well. Mademoiselle?
Just can't decide. Mr. Farnham, what do you think? Do you think having more room would be worth the extra expense? On the other hand, I don't know how long I shall be here. Look!
Mademoiselle!
There's the old paper. That's the pattern I described to you. They've changed this room, repapered it.
Mademoiselle, this is ridiculous. Pay no attention, monsieur.
Oh, I knew it. Even smells new. Can you smell the wallpaper paste, Mr. Farnham? Feel the wall. It's cool. It's not even dry yet. Where is she? What have you done with my mother? What's taking so long? How could she have died so quickly? Oh, why won't they tell me anything?
Try to hold on, Diana. I don't know what it's all about either. They won't talk to anybody but Sir Everett. He'll be here in a moment, just a moment.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Miss Winthrop. Sit down. But this is a very singular, very difficult.
What is it, Sir Everett? Oh, tell me, please.
Miss Winthrop, let me say at first that we, the embassy, would never for a moment have countenanced this, never, but we've been presented with a fait accompli. There's nothing we can do about it.
About what? About what?
The doctor saw at once that your mother was very ill indeed. He sent you on this wild goose chase to give himself time to make arrangements for her to be transferred elsewhere, secretly.
Arrangements? Why did they have to be secret?
I know it's hard for you, my dear. Very hard. I'm trying to explain the best way I can. You see, before you got back to your hotel, your mother had already died.
But how could she? She was perfectly well in the afternoon.
I know. You must understand we don't condone their actions, not for a moment, but one can see why they did what they did. They've spent millions on their exposition. The city's full of visitors. The hotels are full of guests.
Why did they all lie? The maid, the porter. Why did they want to pretend she'd never come to Paris, to obliterate her?
They were only obeying their orders. As soon as the doctor had reported your mother's case to the authorities, the French government stepped in quickly and gave everyone explicit orders.
Government? Why, my mother hadn't done anything wrong. Where is she? I want to take her home to England.
No, my dear. No, I'm afraid that isn't possible. You see, your mother died of plague, the bubonic plague.
Oh, I'm glad to see so many of you are still with us. There was a disturbing suggestion at the very close of our story, which I wish to clear up at once. You will be relieved to hear that Diana and Basil's story ended happily. They did not get married. And now for that part of the program you have all been waiting for.